Tuning in the new Forza Motorsport is a bit tricky. Things have to be done differently than before due to the first major shift in physics in the game in a decade. The anti-dive, anti-squat, roll center, and tire compounds all make grip in the game imperative. This, of course, has not only changed how you tune cars in Forza Motorsport, but it's even changed how you build them. With this dramatic change in physics, even the great tuners I know have to work overtime to keep up on some of the leaderboards. And mediocre tuners, such as myself, have had more, struggles. For those lacking either the time and or the patience to become a better tuner in the Forza franchise, you're left with one of two options to be competitive. Number one is to use other people's tunes, and two is a tuning calculator. Tuning calculators usually come in the form of an app, and while they can save hours of beating your head against the wall, the effectiveness and cost will vary wildly. Most of the apps I have seen are low-effort cash grabs from developers who more than likely never picked up the game for themselves. If you're gonna get a tuning app, it's best to get one that's made by Forza players for Forza players. Enter the Tune It Yourself or TIY mobile tuning app. This app is the most thorough there is, as it connects your phone or tablet to the game and actually reads data from it like tire temperatures and spring rates. Because of the thoroughness of this app, it has the potential to turn even the most stubborn of cars into competitive circuit racing machines. Case in point is two of my favorite cars in the game, the Buick Grand National and the Lamborghini Countach. Neither one has ever been very competitive in the Forza franchise, but after a lot of work with the app, both have become much better cars. TIY is not, however, for the faint of heart. While it does yield superior tunes for most cars, it takes a considerable amount of time to tune per car. Once connected to the game, you'll have to enter the parameters of the car. Car weight, front weight distribution, then you have to click into the tune of the car to find its minimum and maximum ride height, and then its stock roll center, anti-dive and anti-squat, and then finally, minimum and maximum aero settings. Now, if you have any experience with calculators, this is the part where you basically hit the equals button and it spits out calculations for the tune, right or wrong. This, however, is literally just the start of the TIY, as you pick a track in game to tune the car on and start a race. On the front stretch, it will ask you to rev bang the first two gears, go through all the gears so it knows how many it has, and then coast for a short bit. While you can turn while you're doing this, it really helps if you stay on a straight line on track. This will give you a base tune that will make the car drivable, and for those in a rush, this will usually do in a pinch. Apply some patience, however, and then go through the ride height and chassis tuning, and it will tweak the tune to make it even better. However, be prepared to put in anywhere between 10 to 20 laps, as the calculator refines the numbers it gives you as it goes. Unfortunately, this is a lengthy process, and everything has to be done within the parameters of the app. Any deviation will result in a poor tune. Also, it should be noted that if you drive off track at any point, you will have to restart that section of the tune because the app is now trying to consider wherever you drove off a part of the track and will try to tune for that as well, and you, of course, don't want that. Like I said, this tuning app is not for the faint of heart or super casual racer. It requires a lot of time per car, and it has its limitations. Take, for instance, my Buick Grand National that I previously mentioned. The tuning app did indeed make the car more competitive in a lobby. It certainly won't put it at the top of any leaderboard, however. Even with as phenomenal as the TIY is, you have to remember that there are just some cars that are inherently better than others in-game. That being said, many users of the app are able to put some of those better than other cars in the top 25 in leaderboards, and frankly, I've never seen another tuning app that can actually claim that. Since I race mainly production cars, I've noticed that in those production cars, it can take anywhere between 5 to 8 seconds off of each lap time compared to the stock tune that the car has once the suspension is upgraded. TIY is also very in-depth with the numbers that you provide initially to calculate the tune. However, if you change any of those numbers, if you change the build, be prepared to start the tuning process completely over. A slight change in weight or weight distribution without registering it with the tuning initial screen will result in a bad tune. The app is also extremely stable. It does not stutter, freeze, or crash at all. So as long as you're tuning the car with it, it will be with you tuning the car as well. While TIY is the best calculator I have ever seen, it still has a few drawbacks. Its calculations for open wheel cars and its front wheel drive cars will usually yield disappointing results. This app will also struggle on production cars with stock rubber, though this is less about how effective the app is and more on the lack of grip stock tires give you in the new game. It's very difficult to tune cars on stock tires in this game. The lack of an ambient mode will seriously stress out your eyes looking back and forth between the black tuning screen on Forza and the app's brightly lit white one. And finally, the high amount of time it takes to just properly tune one car for one track. And while not often, it does tend to over-tune the car sometimes with some pretty crazy numbers. On the plus side, if you pay attention and use the app properly, you can actually learn a lot from it. On the main screen is a tab called Tuning in a Nutshell that very well explains the tuning process in Forza. The app is also consistently updated to deliver even better results with amazing tech support. It is the brainchild, after all, of a top-tier, long-time Forza player, and not just some algorithmic crap that some machine spit out that doesn't even play the game. All in all, the old adage, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right, heavily applies to committing to the TIY app. Time-consuming as it is, if you're serious about Forza Motorsport, or even the Horizon games as it tunes for both, you need a serious tuning app. It does have a small subscription fee, but it is available in the Google Play Store. If you decide to pick up this app, let me know how it works for you in the comment section down below. I'll be really happy if it works well for you. I like to think that my channel has a long history of helping out players, what with the walkthroughs, marshalling videos, and monthly updates explain vids. However, this is the end of the road for my Forza content here on the channel, as the Forza content just doesn't garner the support for the channel that it used to. The focus has changed on Cruizers Motorsports to real-life car features and car movie vids, and while the support isn't much better for those, I enjoy making them a whole lot more. I, like the rest of you, waited half a decade for what turned out to be a lackluster Forza. Between that and my poor experience as a marshal in being lied to by a developer, I just don't see a need or a want to promote something anymore that I'm just not that passionate about, because I feel like Turn 10 turned their backs on me in more ways than one. I'll still play Forza because that's where all the terrific friends I've made are, but with finally going racing again next year, I feel the focus of the channel should stay in the real world and away from Turn 10's politics. If you've been here since the beginning for the Forza content, or just a recent subscriber, I thank you. It was an awesome journey that we all went on, and I encourage you guys to stick around for the next part of the Cruiser Motorsport journey as I finally get to go racing again and document it all. I love having all you guys on my side. Forza videos or no Forza videos, I hope that we always remain friends. And those friends, they're the family you get to choose. I hope to see you again next week, fellow Cruisers.